Hi everyone, it's John from WoTUp and welcome back to another video. We have another exclusive casting leak for you folks. This comes from sources close to production as well as documentation that's been provided to WoTUp that proves who's playing Faile Bashere in Season 3 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. Yes, I said Season 3, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do here, we cover Wheel of Time show news, pretty much anything and everything related to the Wheel of Time, that's what we talk about. There's nothing too big or too small to discuss about the show here. All the stuff from official things from production, Sony and Amazon, all the way up to and including leaks and rumors and everything in between. If you like that sort of thing and you want to see reviews, Easter eggs, and breakdown videos for every episode of Season 2, which drops September 1st of this year, make sure you subscribe to the channel and, of course, like the video. Now, we're going to be doing this video in a couple of different parts. First, we'll talk about the actress and her role in a completely spoiler-free fashion. Then I'm going to give a spoiler warning for a few of the books, and we'll talk about how she's going to fit into Season 3 and beyond, and how I think they're going to either change or keep the Faile character the same. Again, it'll be spoiler-free up until that point, so you have no worries if you haven't read the book series or even seen the first season that I'll spoil anything at all for you. Alright, so before we dive into the rest of the video, a little bit of a public service announcement. About 6 months ago, I released a video that's saying that it was likely that Faile Bashere would be released or show up in Season 2 of the Wheel of Time. Now, all the documentation and proof that I've received that this particular actress is playing Faile Bashere for Season 3 seems to contradict that, because it almost seems as if she's introduced in Season 3 and not in Season 2. So, I have no problem letting you folks know when I'm wrong or if I've been getting bad information, which may not be the case right now. I just have documentation that seems to suggest that she would be showing up in Season 3 and not in Season 2, so take that with a grain of salt. However, this actress is playing this role. I do have confirmation from a source close to production, as well as physical documentation showcasing the fact that she is playing Faile in Season 3. Alright, with that out of the way, Isabella Bucceri is an Australian actress. She was born in 2000 and she started acting in 2020. She gained fame and notoriety for a short film called Threshold. Now, I watched that earlier today and it's absolutely fantastic. If you get a chance to watch it, I would highly recommend it. I think she's going to knock the role of Faile out of the park. She really can act. It's an absolutely amazing short film. Now, if you want to know who Faile is, she is or was born Zareen Bashere, and she took the name Faile when she became a hunter for the Horn. Now, she did travel to Ilion to pledge to hunt for the Horn, and while she was adventuring looking for the Horn of Valere, she located or met up with Perrin and his group in Remen. Now, she chose to join their party because she thought that Perrin and his group were exciting and they likely would lead her towards the Horn of Valere. She's highly educated and expert in the knowledge of horsemanship. She can lead a horse without reins with just her knees, as well as anyone else in the series. Though she hates it, and she doesn't like admitting it, she is highly skilled at sewing and a deft touch with a needle. She is also quite skilled at fighting with both her hands and feet, as well as use of combat knives that she hides around her person, and she's been known to kill a Trolloc or two in the series. So she is a great match for Perrin. A lot of Perrin's storylines are intertwined with Faile's, and without getting into any spoilers, I can't go much further than that. However, she is a staple from the Dragon Reborn right up through the rest of the series, and while I don't believe the Wheel of Time has main characters, they have certainly a lot of central characters, and Faile is one of them. She also seems to be a fan favorite, either in that people really like her or that people really don't like her. She's my second favorite character in the series, right after Gawain. I really enjoy the way she was written. I really enjoy the way she interacts with Perrin in the series, but some people do not like that and they really dislike her for how she treats other people in the series. Personally, I think she's fantastic. Alright, so now we're going to get into a little bit more detail about her character and how I think she's going to fit into the third season, so I have to give a bit of a spoiler warning. So, spoiler warning, if you have not read the first 4 books of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, The Dragon Reborn, and Shadow Rising, be forewarned, I may ruin plot points and character arcs from those books in the rest of the video. Alright, so how is Faile going to fit into Season 3? Well, Season 3 we know is going to center heavily around the Shadow Rising, the 4th book in the series, which it depends on my reread, but it is one of my favorite books in the series, and right now it is my favorite book in the series. The Battle for the Two Rivers is one of those iconic scenes in the series that I really hope they do well on the screen because it's beloved by a number of fans. I'd say majority of the fans. If you talk to anyone who's read the book series, the majority of people will say their favorite book is either The Shadow Rising or Lord of Chaos. It's usually one of the two. So let me know in the comments down below what your favorite book is, if it's different than those two, because most people seem to have the same opinion of Shadow Rising or Lord of Chaos. Right now, depending on the reread, like I said, it changes, but right now the Shadow Rising is my favorite book. So how does this fit into the storyline? Well, after Faile meets Perrin and his party in Remen, they travel to Tyr. They're in Tyr for a bit, and of course this is a very abbreviated version. Perrin realizes the White Cloaks are harassing his friends and family in the Two Rivers and decides to go home to give himself up. Remember, he's killed a bunch of White Cloaks, and they're there for him. Faile finds out and is mad because she doesn't think that he should do this, follows him home, and once they're there, they meet up with a couple of Aes Sedai, both Alana Sedai and Varen Sedai, and they realize that Trollocs have been sort of burning farms and killing people, and Perrin and Faile band the Two Rivers together to fight off the threat, while the White Cloaks basically sit around and do nothing. Perrin does not give himself up to the White Cloaks, and during all of this time and all the bickering and the fighting and things that are going on between Faile and Perrin, they realize they love one another, they get married, and when all is said and done, the people of the Two Rivers kind of proclaim that Perrin is the Lord of the Two Rivers, and he sort of takes over as their leader. Now, at that point, as Lord of the Two Rivers, does he do his job? Not really. Faile is there to pick up the pieces and sort of do all the heavy lifting for him, which she does for a number of books in the series. Now, like I said earlier, Faile and Perrin storylines are completely intertwined. They're inseparable. They are kind of attached to the hip for the rest of the series, and I love reading their interactions. I love reading about their relationship and how silly both of them act towards one another, but they still love each other very much, and it's a fantastic thing to read about. Now, I hope they get even a tenth of that correct in the series, because Faile and Perrin's relationship to me is a very special one, and I loved reading about it. How is this going to fit into the show, though? That's the books. That's what happened in the books. We know that the show is condensing storylines, adding things together. They're going to have to do a bunch of different stuff. But Rafe Judkins has said the third season is going to center heavily around the Shadow Rising. So the likelihood of the Battle of the Two Rivers happening is very high. I know for a fact that Faile's actress, Isabella, was on set in the Two Rivers. She's been seen in the Wine Spring Inn, amongst other places on set. So she is there, and they are filming scenes that are directly ripped from the books. So I'm pretty excited to see how it all shakes out. Season 3 is probably a couple of years away at this point, but it's something to look forward to after Season 1 finishes airing. So let me know what you folks think in the comments down below. Do you think Isabella's going to knock it out of the park as Faile? I personally think so. If you haven't watched Threshold, like I said earlier, please go do so. It's a fantastic short film, and it really showcases her acting skills, and I think she's going to kind of knock it out of the park when it comes to Faile. I believe she's probably the perfect choice for this role. But let me know what you folks think down below. All right, thank you so much for sticking with me here to the very end. Here's to many more.